Hello everybody, welcome to this week's Lunchtime Live. Happy Thursday, hope you are all well. My name's Sarah Kerrigan, co-founder here at the Online Digital Academy. Oh, my headphones keep falling out. Along with Michelle Carville, and welcome to this week's Lunchtime Live. So today we are going to be talking about mastering your digital strategy. And we're going to be looking at basically how you can drive or how you can use paid, owned and earned media and how they should actually be working together throughout your digital strategy to drive success. So it's a little bit going to be touching on the jargon. For those of you who aren't familiar with those terms, paid, owned and earned media, we're going to look at what each one is and why it's important that you should be utilising all three of them along the customer journey. So if you are watching live today, give me a hello and say hi, just so I know you're there. I can see some of you are watching in, so you can't hide. And ask your questions as we go throughout. Remember, there's a slight delay. So don't wait until the very end to ask your questions, because sometimes they don't come through quick enough. So any thoughts that pop into your mind as we go throughout, or comments and questions, type them as we go. And then if I don't address them throughout, I can address them at the end. Okay, so we're going to get started. So starting off with just thinking about, okay, so what actually is digital marketing? So when we talk about digital marketing, or when you hear people talk about, your digital marketing strategy, your online marketing strategy, I mean, if you're not a marketeer, or maybe even if you're, a very traditional marketeer, if you're a business owner, if you don't have a marketing background, then it can sometimes be confusing to even know what is encompassed or what comes under that phrase, digital marketing. So WTF is digital marketing? Let's have a look. So our digital marketing activity, or online marketing activity, is made up of these three different media types. And when we're thinking about our strategy, it's so helpful to think of our activity within these three different areas, and to think about what we are doing within these three different areas. It can help us plan, it can help us build our digital strategy in a much more effective way. So you can see here we've got three media types, We've got paid media, owned media and earned media, which of course makes a nice acronym there, POEM. And we're going to be looking at all three of these today. So if you're watching, let me know if you've heard of these terms before. Let me know if you're familiar with them. Maybe you're very familiar with them, you know what they mean and you know the definition of them. Maybe you've never heard them before. It can be a real mix. Even people, marketers sometimes come across aren't familiar with these terms, especially if they are traditional marketeers, and their activity has mainly been offline to date. So let's start off by looking at paid media, the first media type. So what exactly is paid media? What do we need to be thinking about within our digital strategy when we're thinking about paid media? So paid media is all of our online advertising. So this is where we pay to appear in front of a set target audience. Now let's imagine that we are a yoga studio. We're a business, we're a yoga studio, and we are looking to get more people to sign up to our yoga classes, more people to sign up to our monthly subscription online. We can use paid media, paid advertising to help us do that. And we have to first come up with or create a target audience. So for example, we can go into advertising platforms such as Facebook, Google, and we can create a target audience, and then we can pay for our ads to appear in front of that target audience. And that's basically what online advertising is. So here we can see, well, maybe if we're, our yoga studio, one of our audience personas, our key target audiences, are people just who are, into health and fitness and really enthusiastic about health and fitness. And then we can use data within these platforms. For example, the data that's available within Instagram and Facebook, just as an example, we can log into their advertising platform and we can type in and search for different interests that we can actually target to create this paid audience that we can reach. So for example, we can have a look at all these interests within here. This data is available to us within Facebook. We can maybe target people who are interested in the brand Food Matters, Holland & Barrett, Planet Organic, Whole Foods Market, and Yoga International. That's just an example. And all these data points, all these interests are available to us within Facebook. Now this is what we call data that is native to the Facebook platform. Facebook have this data of people who are interested in these things because Facebook collect it, you know, as we're on our phones, as we're spending time on Facebook app and we're liking and engaging with things, Facebook is collecting all of that data. So us as advertisers can use it to target our key audiences with. So here you can see we're targeting people in the UK. You have the option of drilling down between age and gender, and then you have the option of adding in these detailed targeting options here. And that would be an example of how we go in and we create a target audience. Another example here is maybe you're a B2B company, so just look at a B2B example, and actually you want to target IT decision makers. Maybe you've got you're a software company and your target audience is IT decision makers. Now LinkedIn would probably be your go-to social platform for that, for doing paid advertising on. So again, we can go into LinkedIn Ads Manager, the advertising platform, and we can type in and search for different data points which we think will be relevant for our target audience or will help us reach our target audience. So for example, we can target C-level directors, managers, owners and partners. And of course, people have all of these within their LinkedIn profile. And we can also target job functions as well. So maybe, it's a director who works within the IT sector or area. And that would be an example of how we can create a target audience within LinkedIn. Now, what you're seeing here is just an example. There's lots more data within these platforms. LinkedIn have a lot more data. Facebook and Instagram have a lot more data that we can search for and we can use to target our advertising at. So, of course, once you've created those target audiences within the platforms, then you pay to show them your ads. So that is part of your paid advertising, and depending on what platform you're in, your paid ads could appear across multiple channels. So your ads could be appearing within Google search if you're within Google Ads, the platform, and you can be paying for your ads to appear within search. You can be paying for your ad creative to appear to these people on different websites. So that's banner advertising and display advertising. Or you could be paying for your ads to appear on social media platforms. So here we can see an Instagram ad. So you go into the platforms, create your target audience, and then of course pay for your advertising creative to appear in front of that target audience. So that's basically what we mean when we're talking about paid media. And we've got three main paid media channels here: search, display, and social media. And we always know it's an ad because, as you can see here, there's always a little note next to these saying that they're sponsored or that they're promoted. Because quite often now, especially on social media, your advertising looks very organic. This could look like a normal Instagram post, but we know that it's sponsored, and people who are in the platforms always know that it's sponsored because there'll always be some sort of ads sign next to an ad when you're in these channels. Okay, great. So that is paid media. So now moving on to owned media, which is the second media type that we're going to look at when it comes to your digital marketing strategy. So owned media is your official brand presence online. It's everything that you own as a business. Now, Your website, for example, is an example of owned media. You own this, you have full control over it. Although you have to pay for the upkeep and the running of it, you're not directly paying for people to see your website. That's the advertising side of it. So, of course, owned media is the media type that most people are familiar with. And when they think of their digital marketing strategy, sometimes they will actually only think of their owned media. They don't really think of paid advertising or earned media. They'll just think, okay, well, that means having a website online, and that also means having social channels online. And that's your own media too, because you can go in, you can set up a Facebook page for free, you can set up an Instagram page for free, and then you can post your owned content on these channels as well for free. So it's your actual social media profiles, but also all of your organic content, all the content that you post onto those profiles. And that's your owned media. You have ownership of that. You have full control over it. You can delete it, you can edit it, you create it, and you post on these platforms. And then finally, the third media type is your earned media. Now, this is what you earn as a brand, or everything that you earn as a brand. Now, you don't have the control over your earned media as you do over your owned media, because you don't own earned media. You don't own earned media, but it's what you earn as a brand. So, for example, brand mentions online. So let's look at what comes under earned media. We've got reviews would come under earned media. So any reviews that people leave about your product and service. Now they might leave those on a review site, such as Trustpilot, Google My Business reviews. They might leave those reviews on your Facebook page. Of course, you can then share that earned media onto your owned media, and you can publish those reviews on your website, for example. And that would be an example of how you take earned media and you publish it on your owned media. So reviews that people give about your business. Here we can see a great review about our B2B online training course from the commercial marketing lead at Lad Bible Group. But brand engagement is also counted as earned media as well. So here you can see all the engagement that you get on your advertising or on your social content, likes, comments, shares. That is all earned media. We earn that as a business by having good content online, by posting good content online. And then finally, we've got brand mentions. Now, these could be PR brand mentions, so mentions in the press that are published about us online, or even mentions from our customers on social media, brand mentions. So here, for example, we can see a brand mention of Abel and Cole. So this picture on Instagram would be earned media for Abel and Cole. Somebody, me, has posted a picture and tagged Abel and Cole in it. So, Abel and Cole have earned that because they have made me a happy customer. And that's what we call UGC, user-generated content. So all these are examples of earned media. Now, as I said, we can't control earned media, but what we can do is manage it and we can drive it. So we can do competitions, we can do campaigns, and of course we have to make sure our products and services are up to scratch to make sure that we are driving positive earned media. And earned media is so influential, it generates lots of trust, and it's really valuable to be utilizing and driving this online for your business. Even more so in the online world, because people aren't dealing with you or your business face to face like they might be offline. So there's a lot less trust online. If they're on your website, they're not seeing you or talking to you. You need to be making sure that you're generating trust so they are likely to convert. And of course, this is where social listening comes in. So you should 100% be monitoring your earned media online at the very least. So that's listening in to those brand mentions to make sure you're aware of what is being said about you online. And that's what we call social listening. And you can use platforms to do that. So you can monitor your brand mentions and see, whether you've got positive or negative brand sentiment online. because, suddenly if you're getting lots of negative comments on social media because for some reason people aren't getting a response from your customer service team, for some reason there's lots of errors with your product, then you want to know about that as a business. All departments, multiple departments of the business would want to know about that. So that's why it's so important to be monitoring what's been said about you online. Okay, so the key takeaway really is your online marketing strategy should be leveraging all three media types. So your paid, owned and earned media. And doing one without the other could mean that you are not really, your activity or your work is almost a bit counterproductive. Or can be. So for example, doing owned media, so focusing all of your efforts on your website, on your social channels and posting to those social channels and putting all of your time and effort into doing that, but without any paid media, can be a little bit like investing all of your money in a big shiny billboard, but then putting it in the desert, because it could be that nobody is seeing that owned media. So you really need to be aware of, how many eyeballs are you getting on your owned media? It's 100% not just about having a presence. It's not just about having a website and ticking a box. It's not just about being on the social media platforms and ticking a box. You could be posting 3 times a day and 10 people are seeing every post. Is there any point putting all of your time and effort into doing that? So yes, owned media is important and vital, and we need it, but we need to then make sure that people are seeing that owned media. And it works the same with all of them. We could flip it round. If we are just doing paid media without any owned, then that's just really not best practice for a long-term digital strategy. Because as soon as we stop paid advertising, our business won't be able to be found online. And, owned media is great for getting indexed within Google, for showing up organically within Google search. Owned media gives authority to our brand and gives us a brand voice online that we can own and is there and can be found through these platforms without us paying to have to be found. So both equally as important, all three media types equally as important. And that's why we need to focus on making sure we're doing all three rather than just one, to make sure our activity isn't being, we're not being counterproductive. So key question there is, what's the digital media mix within your business? So I want you to think about your business and think about the activity within each of these 3 areas. Where are you putting most of your eggs? And most companies, if they haven't thought about this and they don't have a clear digital strategy, 100% will be quite often putting all of their eggs in one basket, and they're not thinking about the other 2 media types. So the key takeaway from this session is not only what media types are you focusing on, but also how you should be using paid, owned and earned media and how they should be working together to drive results along the customer journey. So step 1 is thinking about those 3 media types and what you're doing in each of those areas. And then, of course, we're thinking, okay, well, how do we use paid, owned and earned media to drive brand awareness for our business? So getting more people to know about our brand. And we could be using a mix of paid, which would be maybe display advertising. We could be using influencer marketing, which if that's paid influencer marketing, that would come under paid. If it's, more relationship, then that would come under earned. Again, we could be using Facebook advertising, which is paid, and PR, which is earned. How can we be driving consideration about our products and services? So how can we be getting our key target audiences to really understand what we do? How can we be selling to them, getting them to get our sales pitch, our elevator pitch, and how can we get them to really get our content to resonate with them? So, they suddenly realize, oh my gosh, I really need to buy this. I really need to sign up to this yoga subscription, because clearly I need to be doing more yoga in my life because I'm stressed and it's really good for my health. How can we be educating them and drive desire about what we're selling? Then we can again be using different media types for that. We can be using email to be nurturing them through content. We can be using content on our website and blog content on our website, which of course both email and website and content is classed as owned media. But we could also be using paid media as well, like PPC. So when people are going to Google search and they are looking for, ways to be less stressed, for example, we could be showing up there. Or maybe they're just looking to sign up to a yoga studio. We could be showing up there. And then, of course, social channels, we can be educating them through our social content. So that's owned as well. And then how can we actually be driving the sale? How can we be getting people to part with their money? Those all important conversions. And again, we can be utilizing all three media types for this stage of the customer journey too. So we can be optimizing our website landing pages, as optimizing our owned media to make sure they're not slow, to make sure they're not confusing, to make sure that people can part with their money as easily as possible. It's called conversion rate optimization, type of online marketing. Again, we can be using our paid ads here. Reviews. We spoke about, how people are swayed by reviews. They trust reviews. If they land on your product page and you don't have any reviews, is somebody likely to buy? I know that if I go and land on a product page and there are no reviews on there, it really puts me off buying that product and I might go look somewhere else. And that's, of course, why Amazon is so successful, because they do such a great job of collecting all those reviews. So you're seeing there, a product's got over 1,000 4-star reviews, then you're going to be happy with that, even if it's not 5-star, because the sheer volume of them. So reviews are so, so important, especially as a B2C business, if you're selling products online. And then, of course, remarketing, which is a type of paid media as well. And then finally, the final stage of your customer journey is advocacy. So how, again, can we be using paid, owned and earned media to drive advocacy? So again, email, we can be emailing our customers, encouraging them to come back and buy from us again to increase the customer lifetime value. Once they've bought once, that's definitely not the end of the journey. So we can be using our owned media to keep them engaged. We can be using organic social to keep them engaged, to entertain, inspire them on a regular basis, content, and we can actually be remarketing to them as well. So we can be sending ads to all of our customers. We can also be remarketing to them via email. So at every stage of that customer journey, you need to be thinking about not just one media type, but all three media types to make sure that you are effectively and efficiently driving users along that customer journey. Now, it might seem like there's a lot to think about there, but remember, you don't have to do everything at once. And that's a really, really key important thing to remember with your digital strategy, because you can get really overwhelmed if you try and do all of this at once. Just focus on one stage of this customer journey. And, what is going to be your priority for the next quarter? For next quarter, are we going to focus on the conversion stage, get our website converting really well? For the next quarter, are we actually going to focus on consideration? Because, people don't really get what we do, and we need to drive more traffic to our website. We need to drive more awareness around our products and services and more understanding, so people come to us. Or maybe you're at the stage of your business, when you've actually invested a lot of time up here and you've got a lot of customers, but all those customers have just bought from you once and you don't really have an advocacy strategy. So maybe that might be your priority for the next quarter. So don't feel like you have to be working on every stage of this customer journey continuously when you're thinking about your digital strategy for your business. Definitely prioritize and focus. But we're thinking about all the three media types continuously. Okay, so a couple of final points here before we wrap up. So good owned media drives earned media. So here we can just see an example. So some examples really of how the different media types work together and complement each other is that this is a screenshot for people who are familiar, a screenshot from Facebook Audience Insights. No, it's not, sorry, Facebook page insights. So your organic insights. So these are organic Facebook posts, organic Facebook content. And you can go into your page insights and you can see the amount of organic reach you've had behind every post. So that's the amount of people who have seen every single post that you post on your social media page. So you can see this. Now here we can see this post drove 1.8, reached 1.8 thousand people. This post reached 5.7 thousand people, and this post reached 1.6 thousand people. Now you can see there's a big difference here in the reach, especially with this one. So what was the difference here? What was key is that this, obviously, image here resonated or engaged people particularly well. So this, interestingly, was actually a professionally taken photograph compared to these two here. Now, it's not always the case that professional photography will drive more reach and engagement, but quite often nowadays, we definitely have to be working a lot harder to drive reach and engagement on organic social. But clearly this good quality, high quality owned media did a really good job of driving more engagement, which led to more reach online. So we get rewarded by these platforms for posting good quality owned media. And it just shows you the difference that it makes. And I see it all the time. You post an image that's been professionally shot that is just like, wow, that image, and straight away, your reach and your engagement will go up. So thinking about the quality of your own media, we can't be posting blurry images and videos that have bad thumbnails or are unoptimized. It really has to be on point now, and with organic social to be driving that reach and engagement. But also good quality written content too. So let's look at a Google search example. So you write a blog post that is particularly useful. Lots of people end up landing on that blog post. They're spending a lot of time on that blog post, which Google know. They are reading the whole blog post. They are scrolling down. They are then sharing it on social media. All those signals are showing to Google that is good quality owned media. And that's going to means that you end up higher up within Google organic search results. And this is counted as earned media as well, the search results within Google search, because you're earning to be there, and you're earning that organic ranking. Yes, you can pay to appear at the top, and that's your ad, but here we'll look at the organic rankings. So good quality written content is getting shared and engaged with online will mean that we end up higher up within those organic search results within Google. So this is just an example of how to send better emails, and then the blog posts that are showing up here. Okay, and then we've got earned media increasing the effectiveness of paid. So earned media does an amazing job at increasing conversion rates of paid. So here we can actually see an ad. We can see the amount of earned media on this ad. And as we've already spoken before, the earned media drives lots of trust. So, you're seeing a paid ad and you're seeing that it's got, 433 reactions on it, 187 comments and 123 shares. You're going to trust that ad more than an ad that doesn't have any earned media on it. And you're potentially going to convert, you're going to click through, and you're more likely to buy that product after seeing that earned media. So earned media really, really helps with the effectiveness of paid. But also then looking at paid obviously helps drive the visibility of owned. So when we're looking and when we're running paid ads, we can be reaching so many more people if we put some budget behind our own media. If we thought back to that organic example, I think we were reaching, between 1,000 and 5,000 people. Here we can see we've reached 16,000 people with some budget behind it. So of course it helps drive visibility of our owned media. And of course it helps drive revenue as well. So we can be using paid advertising to actually drive purchases. This is a screenshot from a Facebook advertising account. You can see the amount spent here and the amount of revenue driven. So really, really good conversion rate here, over 10 times ROAS. And of course that is helped by the fact that it's paid, but also the fact that it's got all this earned media on it helps it as well. So just 3 examples there of different media types working together. and how one media type will impact the other media type. You know, we need earned to help us with paid. We need paid to drive more visibility around owned, and we need good owned to help us drive earned. So they are all linked and they all work together, and they're all so important. So final key question is, you've already thought about what you're doing within your business. Now thinking about, where is there opportunity? So where do you now want to be focusing your efforts? Maybe you've realized that you are not doing any paid. Maybe you've realized that all of your efforts is going into owned. Or maybe you've realized actually you've just been focusing solely on paid, you know, to try and get your business going. And now you need to take a step back and actually invest some time in creating really good quality owned content to make sure you're being indexed with Google, to make sure that, you know, you're being found organically on these platforms. Or maybe you've realized that you are not doing anything with your earned media. You don't have any earned media strategy. And maybe you're not even listening to your earned media. You know, you're not even doing social listening. So you have no idea whether people have a positive or negative sentiment about your brand online. So where is there opportunity within your media mix, and what do you need to be doing more of? Ask yourself that, and I'm going to leave you with that question. So that's it for today. For once we stuck to the time. Yes, I was so really wanted to stick to 30 minutes a day, and just to get it done in 30 minutes and not run over, because that's what we promise you, 30 to 45 minutes, to keep them nice and short and sweet, so they're easy for you to watch back. So if you are watching this and you are not already within our Facebook group, some of you might be in our Facebook group already, but if you're watching this on YouTube, on our YouTube account, we're streaming. If you're watching this on our Facebook page, if you're watching this on LinkedIn, if you're watching this somewhere that's not within our Facebook group, then please do join our Facebook group if you are not a member already. We do extra trainings within our Facebook group, and obviously we've got all the conversation going on in there. So you can find us, the Online Digital Academy Facebook group. So join the learning and conversation there. And also head to our website if you haven't already, and check out our free digital resources. So we've got a whole resources tab on our website here. We've got lots and lots of things that you can download for free. For example, we've got digital marketing scorecards, so you can score yourself online, which is perfect. If you're thinking about your digital marketing strategy, then these scorecards are great, because they help you do an audit of your activity and find out what you need to be doing more of. We've also got a Facebook advertising campaign planning checklist, and that's just 2. We've got loads more. We've got a LinkedIn profile checklist. We've got a marketing strategy template. There's loads of stuff on there. So head to our resources on our website, and you can see that's the onlinedigitalacademy.co.uk. And that is it for today. So thank you all for joining, and have a fabulous Thursday, and I'll see you next time. Bye.